Live from the National Car Rental Center in South Florida, HDS presents the National Hockey League. Tonight, the Washington Capitals meet the Florida Panthers. A lot of this energy is expended before every game in the NHL, but doubly so tonight. Soon, all the preparing doubly so tonight. For soon, all the preparing stops, and the game begins. A very pleasant good evening to you. Alongside Craig Laughlin, I'm Joe Beninati. Craig, we are thrilled to be back, and as we get set for this evening's matchup, right off the bat, a divisional matchup. Both of these teams missed the playoffs. Is it right to say they both expect to bounce back in this time?
I think they both do, Joe. It's been a long summer for both hockey clubs. They've had an infusion of youth in both teams, speed added. I think they're going to vie for the Southeast Division. I think the Caps, along with Florida and Carolina, are vying for that #1 spot in this division.
Hockey is quite obviously a team game. Everybody's accountable for the success of the club. But I think you would agree it's right to say for Washington to succeed, a huge amount of that responsibility is shouldered by Ole Kolzig.
Well, all top teams start from the net out. And Kolzig, as we compare last year to the season before, last season 26 wins, in 97-98 he had 33. Save percentage both years, however, still above 900. Those stats are a little bit skewed because last year Kolzig involved with the Capitals playing 23 games where they only scored 1 goal or none for him. 19 of them became losses. So I think this year he's ready, he's set, and he's got his fundamentals down pat.
The Capitals believe they have the offensive firepower to support Kolzig in a solid defense. And these next three have their fingers on the trigger of the Caps offense.
Well, it starts with Adam Oates, the best passer in the league in the last decade, only Gretzky better. You have Gonchar, 21 goals last season, the only Russian defenseman to ever hit the 20-goal plateau. Norris Trophy on the horizon, Joe. And Bonzai, the bona fide sniper for the Caps. 31 goals last season, looking to rebound to 50. Here's one of them, nearing off the Bonzai top shelf. Past Chris Osgood. The continued breakaway speed is his forte here, beating Bill Lansford of Tampa Bay, one of his 31 goals. And here, James Black on the doorstep against Carolina, beating Urbe on the doorstep. Peter Bondra knows for the net. He's set, he's healthy, there's no injuries. He's set to put up some big goals this season.
Here in Florida, this team is young, it's fast, it's bright-eyed, and the centerpiece of all the excitement is a speedster named Pavel Bure.
And the big question here, Joe, is can his right reconstructed knees 2 times hold up to carry this franchise? Last year arrived in March. He had 11 goals in 13 games. This is a guy that can dangle with the puck. His skating and stick handling is breathtaking. Here you see the speed of his 13 goals last year. 3 on the breakaway. They're beating Mike Richter. Here against the Beezer, slap shot, nice deflection, picks up the rebound back to the net. And then you can't get a better goal than this, Joe. On the short side, top shelf, beating Patrick Waugh. If he can rebound, if his knee is healthy, can record 60 goals, which he's done twice in his career, the Panthers will be in good shape.
Boy, are they ever juiced here for his return. There's always energy and enthusiasm surrounding the beginning of any NHL season, especially for the Washington Capitals. They came through training camp with the flying colors. We caught up with Ron Wilson earlier, and judging by his comments, his hockey team is very much ready to begin NHL play this evening.
Well, I'm very excited. Our primary goal was to get through the preseason healthy. We are. We had a successful preseason in terms of wins and losses. We accomplished everything we set out to do in terms of installing our systems and getting ready for the season. So we're really excited about everything.
Ready, partner?
I am ready to go.
Ready to play right here on HDS. We've got it, the beginning of the 99-2000 season for you. It comes your way in just a few moments right here on HDS. HDS coverage of Capitals hockey this evening is being brought to you by Geico. One 15-minute call could save you 50% or more on car insurance. Call 1-800-947-AUTO. Geico Direct, the sensible alternative. And by Giant Food. Quality, value, and service. That's Giant, your place to save. By Vario, the leading provider of internet solutions that help growing companies successfully compete in the new world of business. Visit www.vario.com for more details. And by Bell Atlantic. While things are happening, Bell Atlantic, see you there. We'll have the start of the NHL season for Washington and Florida up next.
At the big Screen Store, we'll turn any room into a great home theater. We're the area's only exclusive Mitsubishi big screen store with your choice of surround sound systems and customized entertainment centers for that built-in look. Best of all, they're all in stock with 1 year same as cash financing. So why wait? Go ahead. Do the room at the Big Screen Store.
After years of perfecting silence, we're ready to make some noise. The future of Lexus is here.
At Mike Himes, Lexus of Annapolis.
Top news, top traffic, top weather, non-stop. Start your day with WTOP. Now heard on 107.7 FM, 1500 AM.
You'll never meet a guy who is lower.
I'm Bob Bell, and I am the lowest guy in town.
Bob Bell Ford Hyundai and Glen Burnie saves you more with as low as 0.9% financing, up to $2,000 rebates, and huge discounts. Now, come see the all-new Focus for 2000 and the brand-new Ford Excursion.
You know you'll get the best price in the metro area because I'll be in the advertised price. Bring us the ad, we'll beat the price. I'm Bob Bell, and I guarantee it.
Bob Bell Ford Hyundai, Ritchie Highway, Glen Burnie.
It is more than a trial by fire. It is a rite of passage. And if you can master your fear, outsmart your enemy, and never yield, even to yourself, you will be changed forever. The few, the proud, the Marines.
A Southeast Division rivalry lifts the lid on the NHL season for the Washington Capitals. Caps, Panthers on HDS. Joe Beninati, Craig Laughlin. Craig, the net-minding matchup.
Well, it's a battle of big stand-up goaltenders for the Capitals. Only Kolzig. There you take a look at last year's stats, 26, 31, and 3. For the Panthers, Sean Burke, 6'4", 21, 24, and his career best, 14 ties.
The NHL will be using a lot more of the two-referee system this year, but not tonight. The referee is Paul Stewart, the linesman Gord Brasiker, and Pierre Rasico. We are underway at the National Car Rental Center. Viktor Kozlov with a puck. Leads for Bure a bit too far, and Joe Riki clamps onto it. Adam Oates, tap pass, answered by Mellanby, and back to center she comes. Sergei Gonchar off a brilliant offensive season 1 winter ago on the headman for Bondra behind him. Spot check deals. Bure relays for Mellanby. Tied up there by Riki. Oates, the new captain for Washington, trickles it back to center. Bondra there in a tussle with Brett Hedekett. Oates moves along, finesses through 3 defenders. There's a drive by Bondra, deflected over top of the netminder, Sean Burke. And as Glenn Metropolitan tried to find Adam Oates, he deflected that pass upstairs out of play.
Well, Joe B, we've got to look at our keys to the game, brought to you by Coleman Toyota. There it is. For the Capitals, they've got to bottle up Bure. They've got to contain this guy. He's got tremendous speed, and they've got to deactivate. The D for the Caps, Gonchar and company, have to join the rush. For the Panthers, their keys, the young guns got to score. Parrish, Kavacha, Dvorak, Kozlov, and they've got to pack a punch. This is a much more physical team this season. They've added some guys. They've got Paul Lauzwarel's out. They've also got Big Todd Simpson that they just picked up in a trade from Calgary for Bill Lindsay. He's a tough customer. They've got to clear the front of the net.
Peter Worrell, 6'6" left winger, missing with a knee sprain tonight. He's expected to be out of the Florida lineup for some 5 weeks. Washington's only injury, Trevor Halverson on the injured reserve list with concussion. 3 scratches tonight, Jeff Toms, Ulf Dahlen, and Mike Eagles. In the defensive zone, Nikolic to the rescue. Moves away with James Black. Black will send in. Yogi Svejkovsky gives chase. Burke taps to the corner. Black to the goal mouth. Johansson on the one-timer. Blocked aside by the blocker of Sean Burke and out of play.
It's a good play by James Black, number 1, getting it in. The Capitals with the turnover. And Kelly, the hard slap shot from the point. Unfortunately for the Capitals on that shot, Blackie couldn't get to the front of the net along with his line mates, Nikolic and Yogi. Because of that, it's a routine save for the netminder. James Black, what a year he has. had last year, Joe, 16 goals. Played a lot of soccer this past summer. Kept them in great condition. Played for a men's league team. Brought all the boys Capitals uniforms to play with.
Sure did. Ron Wilson back behind the bench, beginning his third season in our nation's capital. Those numbers you saw for Black moments ago, all across the board offensive highs.
And because of that, a new deal, new 2-year deal given to him by George McPhee, the Capitals GM and Vice President.
We are scoreless. Just underway, 90 seconds into the first period in Sunrise, Florida. Washington opening its season with its first 2 on the road. Svejkovsky, his wrister knocked down by the defensive Hedekin. Rob Niedermeyer walks it back to center. Headman intended for the newcomer Cam Stewart, a bit too far. Kolzig having difficulties fencing there. Ken Klee to the rescue. Florida will settle a long point drive, turned aside by the outstretched pass. John Jacopin, former college standout at Merrimack in Massachusetts, will send back. Ken Klee will move it right back to center, and then got crunched by Paul Laws. In the neutral zone, Brendan Witt spilling Chris Wells. Up goes the right arm of referee Paul Stewart, and Florida's going to have the first power play on the night.
There's Stewie signaling a tripping minor coming to Brendan Witt in the neutral zone. The Panthers go to the power play. Less than powerful during the preseason, Joe. They were about 4 for 41, not very good. The coach for the Florida Panthers, Terry Murray, wants them to really concentrate. You look at this penalty given out to Brendan Witt. 2 minutes tripping right in the neutral zone, left side. Up ends the Florida Panther forward, trying to get to the loose biscuit. There it is, right in the center of the screen. Does that little stick, the poke check. He's hauled down, and he's in the box. The Caps go to the penalty kill.
Brandon Witt will have a seat and watch this Washington Capitals penalty killing group go to work. 84% last season.
That was a tough break for Brendan Witt. I think he stuck his stick out, and the forward stepped on his stick and got upended, and Stewie was on the far side to make that call.
Florida, a man to the good. 5-on-4. Shvela turns tail, trying to chase after it. Kept alive. Sacco fires. Sticked out of there by Burke. Joe Sacco, Jeff Halpern, the Potomac, Maryland native, getting his NHL debut this evening.
And Coach Ron Wilson and company want to keep up the tempo on the penalty kill this year. Look for them to go with 3 units. Halpern and Sacco, they'll go with Black and Nicolishin, and probably Oates and Bondra. So they want 3 different looks during each power play this season to keep up the energy.
Florida was offside on the power play entry into the zone. No score for Adam Oates and the Washington Capitals as they battle the Florida Panthers. It's the first of 5 regular season get-togethers. Old friend Terry Murray working behind the Florida bench, 5 seasons in Washington as the head man.
Old friend on the hot seat, including his older brother here. This Florida Panthers team under Terry Murray and Brian Murray, they're looking for big things, Joe. They've not been to the postseason the last 2 years. Fans are getting restless here. They hope to get into the playoffs this season.
That's right. Last year was head coach Terry Murray's first year missing the playoffs in a head coaching role. Bure flying back into the offensive zone. Lost the handle. And Peter Bondra will leg it back to center. Bondra deals. He and Adam Oates turn left to take a seat on the players' bench. Washington still a man short, another 57 seconds. Kozlov taps in. Tremendous strength and puck handling ability for Victor Kozlov. Spot check. Comes rink wide. Shvela towards the net. Deflection score! Ole Kolzig got a piece, but not enough.
And the guy that got the piece of it is Pavel Bure. He got it off that left pipe. Spot check. Gets the puck across the Shvela. Not a real hard shot, Joe. And Bure coming through the high crease, got a chunk of it with his hockey stick to deflect the puck into the back of the net. Going to be 1-0 Panthers, 16:32 left here in this first period. Bure starts out with a flash here. He's a key to the Florida Panthers. There's the play across, and I tell you what, they're looking at the replay up there. The players are, and they're loving it. We get a look at that pass across. Shvela the shot. And in the net it goes. There's a deflection. Bure has given the Panthers a 1-0 lead.
The time of the goal, 3 minutes and 28 seconds. This Florida bunch had misfired its last 26 power play attempts in the preseason. They click 1 for 1 tonight when it matters. Niedermeyer off on the wing. Radek Dvorak loads and drives, deflected upstairs and out of play by Brendan Witt. 3 minutes, 28 seconds is all it takes for Florida to get on the board.
That's a goal scorer's goal as we look at Pavel Bure, 2 years in the NHL, 60-plus goals, 150-plus. Last season out with those 2 reconstructions. Did not play at all, Joe, in the preseason. When he did practice, they had a no-hit rule in place. No one could collide with him in practice. This is his first game since last March where he's going to actually have some contact.
Yeah, he got tangled up with Colorado defenseman Adam Foote, a game that Bure scored, interestingly enough, 3 goals, his second hat trick with the Florida Panthers.
And they had a 5-0 lead, and they went on to lose to Colorado that night.
Electrifying Pavel Bure's first of the season, 3:28 on the power play with Brendan Witt in the penalty bench. Yaroslav Spacek and Robert Schwela with the assist. Chris Simon for Washington took a nudge down to the deck. Back comes Florida with it, just over the stick of Niedermeyer. On the regroup, Stewart turns away from Simon's check. Jacopin facing Bondra. Brendan Witt came up strong with a hard hit to deal there. Stewart collects it. Panthers leading by 1 as we approach the 5-minute mark of the first. Bondra has an alleyway. Down the right flank, Lance Pitlick, the newcomer, late of the Ottawa Senators, to the Florida back line, watching Bondra in tight, and a bouncing puck bounced over Peter's stick and nearly squirmed through Sean Burke. He hangs on, and then we've got a quarrel.
A little scrum there, and Paul Law is right in the middle of things. That's why you have Joe Ricci coming in. The Panthers are going to play a lot more aggressive this year. They think they have some team toughness, and they have to play this way. Capitals unlucky bounce, Joe. When the puck got to Peter Bondra, it was bouncing like crazy, and he couldn't get the handle on it. He still got the shot away, but look at it bouncing. A chip shot off the top of his blade. Doesn't get a whole lot of lumber. Hits the belly, and watch him clean out in front. You have Pitlick working there. He immediately turns around, tries to get a chunk of the Capitals forwards going to the goal net.
Peter Bondra, as we watch Paul Laws head to the dressing room in need of repairs. Bondra up a 31-goal season, 2-time NHL 50-goal campaign. Gunner is Bondra. We have a neutral zone draw with 15:13 to go in the first. Pavel Bure on the board for Florida. Power play strike at 3:28. Whitney launching it back. Kavasha spilled rudely by Ken Klee. Klee working in a partnership with Calle Johansson. Along the cap back line, Hennigan towards the cage, ushered aside by Kolzit. That first shot, the deflection by Bure, the first one of the game against Ole. Washington looking to clear. Zednik locking up there, and Jan Bulis will flick it back. Turning, Mark Parrish gave it right to Calle Johansson. In stride, Steve Konowalchuk. Konowalchuk sets up Zednik. His drive was blocked by Hennigan. Zednik turns to the corner. Bulis there from skate to stick. Konowalchuk continues the cycle game. Konowalchuk took the stick up high from Pitlick, a rough customer. Ricci pinching down, keeps Washington on the attack. Trailing by 1. Little less than 6 minutes gone by in the first. Deep slot chance. Jan Bulis fires and scores.
What a wonderful forechecking job by the Washington Capitals, cycling the puck down low, and Bulis buries it. That was just simply hard work. The Capitals out-muscled the Florida Panthers down low, and Jan Bulis, coming off a subpar preseason, buries his first of the year. But what wonderful work. A lot of it caused by Joe Ricci, Joe, pinching in, keeping the puck alive, and sustaining the pressure. Here's the play down low. Look at Cano try to miss the check there. Finds a seam, throws it to Bulis sneaking in. The high man stays high, then finds an alley to sneak into. Textbook triangulation. Down low, Joe. Back of the net, 1-1.
We're not even 6 minutes into the season, and you're triangulating. Steve Konowalchuk will pick up the primary assist. Jan Bulis' first of the season. 5:52 the time of it, as Florida enjoyed the lead for just a little less than 2.5 minutes. We're deadlocked at 1.
The Washington goal is first of the year, number
Panther captain Mellenby will turn back. Mellenby playing somewhat out of position on the left side in this top offensive group for Terry Murray.
And it makes it a lot tougher in his own zone. He's a right shot. He's played his whole career, other than about a handful, maybe 25 or 30 games at left side when he was with the Flyers. Said he's had a really tough time adjusting. It's a lot different coming out of your own zone when you're on your backhand. He'll work on that. He's the vet.
Great send in for Kozlov. Robbed there by Kolzig on the doorstep. Kozlov still with it, and we get the whistle as the referee Paul Stewart apparently lost sight of the puck. 13 minutes, 25 seconds to go. Exciting first period of play. It continues for you in just a few moments. We'll have you back right after this, tied at 1.
I need to implement my frame relay network. I have to determine the type of internet access. Radio network. Device
Yeah, it's very complicated. That's why you hire us. Time Bridge Technologies. Adding vision to technology. Feels good, doesn't it?
Grab on to the taste of Subway's hot and hearty barbecue chicken sandwich. Tender chunks of chicken smothered in Lloyd's barbecue sauce. It's under 6 grams of fat, so you can indulge your appetite without feeling guilty. Subway, the way a sandwich should be.
It's here, the hot new Rebel 2000. Rev it up. Score, new ball. Let Cannon ignite your creativity. Rotation, Agassi. Soar past simple snapshots and roar into photography. 3, 2, 1, go! Agassi, game ready. The new Rebel 2000 from Cannon.
It's amazing what some people will do to save a little money.
What a piece of work.
Yet with one call to Geico, you could save 15% or more on car insurance. And considering the alternatives, making a phone call is pretty simple.
Amateur.
Geico Direct. A 15-minute call could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
A 3-on-4 for the Panthers leads to a goal-scoring chance by Viktor Kozlov, getting a wonderful pass by Mellenby. Miscommunication by the Capitals forward, Svejkovsky, and the onside D who stood up on Mellenby, Joe. He made the pass, springing Kozlov. Kozlov, a big guy, 6'5", big reach. Got a good shot there on Ole Kolzig.
Chris Simon revs it up for Washington. Wrist shot snared by Sean Burke, and he'll hang on as the Caps register their 6th shot of the period. Less than 7 minutes old are we. Washington out shooting Florida 6-4. Game tied at 1.
And great to see this guy back in the lineup, healthy, recuperated all summer, didn't play many games. We take a look there, 23 last year, just 10 points, 48 PIMs. Trying to rekindle several years back, Joe. He had 16 goals and 250 PIMs with the Avalanche when they won the Cup. Against the Florida Panthers, he's had some good success, maybe his best out of all teams. 10 points in 13 games lifetime against his Panthers hockey club.
He does have a career best against any individual NHL opponent of 6 goals against this Florida group. Came in tremendous condition, very lean, and one would imagine quite mean. Jeff Halpern wins the draw cleanly. Mironov's point drive didn't get through. Chris Wells, the towering winger, got in the way. This is Wells, Johnson up front for Florida. Wells, Johnson, and Laws drawing a bead on Witt. Simon dealing with Ryan Johnson, a sturdy check. Dmitry Mironov leads it 2-on-2. Mironov with a heavy drive, and that gave Burke fits. 1-1 your score. Bure for the Panthers on the power play. Poulos at even strength for Washington. 12:45 to go in the first. Joe Beninati, Craig Laughlin with you tonight at the National Car Rental Center, welcoming you to HDS coverage of the NHL this 99-2000 season. Oates flicks to center. Spot check, bunts it along. Laws drops it. Kozlov moves it. Viktor Kozlov darting out of the corner. Towards the cage, Kolzig down low, sealing the lower portion of the net. Makes the stop and the cover-up.
And that new crease rule allows Mellenby to get in the face of Ole Kolzig. Last year, players sort of shied away from the crease area, but Mellenby, a veteran guy, the oldest on this Panthers team at 33, one of their heroes, unsung heroes in the dressing room, a great leader, goes to the net. Kozlov gets the shot, and there's Mellenby right on the doorstep. Nice job by Kolzig, as you mentioned, Joe, getting down low, stopping that puck and leaving the rebound for him easily to cover it. Makes a nice stop there against them.
That's one of the things Kolzig was talking about in improving and stepping up his play again back to that elite level, is playing positionally, being sound and not trying to overdo things, especially when you're screened, and Ole has done the job in that instance. Offsides, Washington on the rush. Kolzig has seen his teammates get that early goal back. Bure beating him on the power play at 3:28 on the deflection. Jan Bulis, who last year had 3 of his 7 NHL goals via the power play, striking at even strength to tie it. Glenn Metropolitan, Adam Oates, and Peter Bondra out there for Washington. Caps control the draw. Sergei Gonchar slings it in. Metropolitan overskates. Dvorak taps it back. Bondra snares. Oates towards the net. That was deflected aside by the goal stick of Burke. Radek Dvorak primed for a bust-out season offensively, perhaps, as Niedermeyer sends it in. Niedermeyer, Dvorak, and Stewart on ice for head coach Terry Murray. Big hit there. Gonchar flattened by Niedermeyer. Back come the Caps 3-on-3. Bondra the trailer. Also Johansson. Johansson backhand. Denied there by the defense. Solid was Yaroslav Spacek. Race forward in the neutral zone. Dvorak beaten there by Johansson.
That was a good sign of one of the Capitals' keys, Joe, that we talked about from Coleman Toyota, was the D to activate. There you had Calle Johansson joining the rush, and out of it, they get a quality scoring chance here in the first period.
1-1 is your score. Nearly 9 minutes done in the first period. Lance Pitlick able to flick it free for Brett Hedican. Hedican relays, and Mellenby will send it to center. Riki with patience coughed it up. Kozlov sends in Bure. Bure on the accelerator, denied by Kolzig. And Ole takes no chances, and Pavel goes strongly into the end boards.
That turnover by the Washington Capitals. The Florida Panthers putting a 2-man pressure unit pressuring the Capitals D, and you'll see a giveaway. You don't want to give it away to this guy. They're quick to counter, and Pavel Bure, here it is, that speed, the acceleration, going to the net, protecting the puck. Getting a good backhander away, but there you talk about positional hockey, Joe. Look at the positioning of Kolzig. Textbook, out taking away the angle. Then you see Ken Clee finish his check after the turnover by Joe Riki just over the blue line.
You don't want to baby him too much. Pavel Bure is a world-class athlete. Bounced up after bumping that right knee into the end boards. None the worse for wear. Panther hopes hinge on his offensive productivity. Pitlick's point shot deflected. Referee Paul Stewart has a whistle, and I do believe a slashing minor is coming here.
I think it is. There was a little gang up in front of the net between Joe Riki and one of the Panthers. Riki gave him a shot, and then a retaliation penalty, I think, is upcoming. We're going to take a look here. Maybe against the Washington Capitals. No one's gone to the bench yet. Stewie's trying to get somebody to come over.
Ole Kolzig.
Okay, that happened because Joe was jostling with his guy in front. Kolzig must have got a good one, Joe, because he snapped his stick. There's a good look here on HTS. You'll see the right side there in front of the net. There's Kolzig paddling. There's that little two-hander, little chop to the back of the leg, and because of that, he heads off.
We talked with Caps goaltending coach Dave Pryor about the netminders this year. Both Kolzig and Billington having to fight for that real estate a little bit more in front of the net, and as referee Stewart explains things to Kolzig, Kolzig obviously asking for a little bit of leeway.
You don't break your stick, you might have got away with it.
1-1 your score. Kolzig and the Caps have to penalty kill once again. Florida struck on its first opportunity. Bure just 3 minutes and 28 seconds into the contest. Hedican on the back pedal. Johansson rubs out Parrish. A fine rookie season 1 winter ago for Parrish.
Yeah, he led all NHL rookies in goals scored, Joe. He had 24, but still didn't win the Rookie of the Year.
He had a bang-out month of October 1 season ago. The first month of the NHL season treated him well. He was the Rookie of the Month, if not by season's end, the Rookie of the Year. Just about midway through the first period tonight, we're tied on a headman feed. Oleg Kvasha is offsides, as ruled by the linesmen Rostiker and Rasico.
That's the guy they expect a lot out of. This guy has a ton of talent, a future star, Oleg Kvasha. He's a guy that he only didn't do very well in face-offs last year. That's one area this whole team's working on. But they think this guy has a bright future. He's really stepped it up. When you look at their centermen, one thing they're lacking with Terry Murray has been their face-offs. There you take a look. Last in the National Hockey League, winning under 50%. That's just not going to cut it when you have the Caps' Adam Oates winning close to 60% himself.
And Terry wasn't going to put the onus on just the centers. He wanted the defense. He wanted the wingers to be more active to help his team win more face-offs this year.
They actually, in the preseason, had a face-off cam where he set a camera up over the face-off so he could determine what was going wrong in that element of their game.
They've got control right now. Power play time for another 1 minute and 14 seconds as Richard Zednik serves the minor to goaltender Ole Kolzig for slashing. Yaroslav Spacek, former gold medal winner in the Olympics with the Czech Republic team. Švejla, turned back by fellow Slovak Peter Bondra. Spacek sends it away. Bure rink wide, right on the tape for Viktor Kozlov. Kozlov showing off that reach. Spacek for Švejla. Bure now occupied by Witt. Švejla through a screen, tumbled it wide. Kozlov in control, 35 seconds in the power play. Kozlov steps in, fires, snatched out of the air by Kolzig.
Great save by Ole Kolzig. Nice move by the big guy Kozlov coming off the board. That, too, is exactly what the Capitals are trying to do on their power play, Joe. Have the half-wall guy take the step, get to the top of the circle, and bury it. Here's an umbrella power play, a 1-2-2. Opens up because the D has a tough time to get out to the big guy. Can't leave too soon. He's got to wait and have patience. When he gets there, however, it allows Kozlov to have a heck of a shot. Fortunately for the Caps, no screen. Easy pickings with that catching glove.
As the linesman, Yarasico tends to a broken hockey stick. 5-on-4 for Florida for another 32 seconds. We are deadlocked at 1 if you're just joining us on HDS. Pavel Bure on the power play for Florida early on. Jan Bulis responding for Washington at even strength. Parrish, Kavasha, and Mellenby across the top, left to right for Florida. Washington controls the draw. Witt slings it around the dasher and back to center. Hedekin, one of the NHL's smoothest skaters. On the back pedal, Spacek coughed it up. Nikolitin right in the passing lane. Kavasha, wonderful work. Mellenby tries to feed through Ken Klee, and he spoiled that. Washington back 2-on-2. Nikolitin with a 70-footer. That was blocked away by Spacek. Ron Wilson in the middle of a shift change. Less than 9 minutes to go in this first period, even up at 1. Hedekin double team. Found Parrish. Mellenby reloads. Jacopin. Hedekin now. Freaky on the step up. Jan Bulis, the goal-getter for Washington tonight, snares. As the Caps are back to even strength. 5 aside are we. Konowalchuk sends away Richard Zednik. Zednik trying to use that separation speed, and he was caught by the newcomer into the lineup for Florida, Todd Simpson. Loose puck in front. Burke nudged it to the corner. Parrish floats it over the head of Joe Ricci and out of play for a whistle and a chance for us to step aside from the National Car Rental Center. Richard Zednik and the Caps locked up in a 1-1 duel. More in a moment.
Technology coverage in tomorrow's Washington Post.
Your network has just crashed. Your corporate database is corrupted. The new application's bringing down your server. Face it, you're losing it. Just call TimeBridge Technologies, adding vision to technology. Now, that's better.
Oh, no. Why me? Don't even think about... Oh, no. I hate this thing. You stupid...
The Avis Preferred Service System, linked by network, so without so much as signing a name, your car and keys are waiting. Still, at Avis, we know technology doesn't try harder. People do.
Running late, Mr. Spencer?
Yeah, huge presentation.
How about I call ahead for directions?
That would be great.
I'll drop you right at your car.
Speed and personal service. It's what everyone at Avis is dedicated to delivering. We try harder for you.
Your
home for Capitals hockey. HTS, ready to play.
Sports in tomorrow's Washington Post.
Craig Laughlin, the youngest member of the Washington Capitals, is on the board, and he is very much hoping for another breakout kind of season.
Yeah, just 21 years old. Last year, 7 goals, Joe. He was injured most of the year. He got sent to the IHL late in the season. They expect big things from Jan Bulis. He's got great speed and great puck skills. If he can put it all together like he's done here in this first period, they're going to be in great shape.
Clee's drive handled by Sean Burke. The reason I say another breakout year is because Bulis, as a youngster, just 19 years of age, was able to show this club that he deserved to stay a couple seasons back, and now wants to prove he belongs and can be a solid number 2 contributor from the center position behind Adam Oates. 7:53 to go, first period, 1-1 your score. Florida attacking. Niedermeyer with Dvorak. Dvorak pinched by Glenn Metropolitan. Cam Stewart drops it for Rob Niedermeyer. We're even strength, 5 aside. Niedermeyer's backhand dealt with by Kolzig. Oates fetches it for Washington. Adam Oates flings it on through Metropolitan, who was smoked by Pitlin. Glenn Metropolitan and Jeff Halpern both making their NHL debuts this evening. Wells moving back for Florida. Able to dodge Sergei Gonchar, but not Jeff Halpern. Halpern out there now working with Sacco and Simon as his wingers. As the puck leaves the playing surface, we get a chance to drop this in from the promotions department. Fans get the inside scoop on your favorite sports figures. It's Classic Settlements presents One-on-One with Steve Buckhands. Catch it every Monday night at 8:30 on HDS. Classic Settlements One-on-One with Steve Buckhands premieres this Monday with special guest, someone named Joe Gibbs.
Not bad, the racing car guy. Redskins
the
coach.
racing car guy.
I know, I like saying that now. There's Halpern, local boy. Got to say hello to his family back home watching it in Potomac. Mel and Gloria, his mom and dad, and about 15 friends over for popcorn, a few pops, ready to go.
And I am sure beaming with pride.
Beaming with pride because the Caps are dominating in the circle, 14-4 our face-offs. They've won a lot clean, just like that last one.
Dmitry Mironov plays for Brendan Witt. Witt will skim it on one hop to Sean Burke. Simpson tied up by Halpern. Simon chops it back behind the Florida cage. Even up at 1, 6:40 to go in the first period. Halpern working there against Jacopin. Sacco spins. Wells grabs Joe Sacco down to the deck. Caps wondering where their penalty could have been.
It's a rodeo down in that corner.
Simon, big bomb, snagged by Burke.
Big Wells having a tough time controlling Joe Sacco. Sacco with great speed, Wells with great size. Pretty good pressure by the Capitals' so-called fourth line. Got a couple of scooters there in Halpern and Sacco, and a lot of muscle on that other wing. They feel pretty calm, I think, on the ice, Joe, and play with a lot of confidence with that big guy, big Chris Simon, on their flank.
Yeah, they do. Simon, enforcer, bodyguard, point scorer, hopefully all combined by season's end. Joe Sacco, nearest to you in the picture. So thrilled to be away from Long Island.
They're going the young route there.
They sure are.
Maybe he was too old. They've got a lot of youngsters.
And they're going young here in Florida. Gone. Terry Carkner, Dino Cicerelli, Gord Murphy, Bill Lindsay, Johan Garpenlov, Kirk Muller. All moved out. The young guys have to succeed for Florida to succeed this year. Off the draw, Gonchar's slapper denied by Burke, and he'll dive out to cover.
Very similar to the Washington Capitals. You look at last season's opening game, and a lot of those guys are gone. Bellows, Vonka, Hunter, all guys 30 years plus, no longer with this hockey team.
Kelly Miller.
Kelly Miller.
As we pan the blue-clad Caps bench.
Craig Berube, Joe Zuno.
Oh, we can keep going.
Yeah, keep going.
Mark Tenorti.
A big changeover on both hockey clubs.
You don't feel it as much because the Caps, wounded of a year ago, are healthy now.
Yeah.
Sveikovsky, Nikolish black, right to left for Washington. As you look at the Caps record overall in the openers, this the 26th season in the NHL for the Washington Capitals franchise. Florida controls. It is Svela with it. Robert Svela to an open Mellenby. Leaves for spot check. Through Kozlov the length. Icing washed out by the linesman tonight. You get a good look at Johansson turn. Svejkovsky taps it on through. Nikolitin with a step. Andrei Nikolitin, clever puck handler, very good passer. Nikolitin sets up Riki, taps for Gonchar, deep slot drive, blocked there. That struck a defender in front. Spot check was stung by that. Able to get it into the defensive zone for Washington and then hobbled to the bench.
That's called ouch.
It's an owie. Brett Hedekin glides to control. Hedekin run hard by Richard Zednik. Bulis puts the clamps on it for Washington. Bulis trying to shake away from Kvasha. Bulis protecting the puck well against the towering young center. Bure collapsing back to help the Florida D, and Bure will send it back to the Washington line. 5 minutes, 8 seconds to go, first period. 1-1 your score. Bure and Bulis on the board. Both goals coming before this game was 6 minutes old. Ray Whitney trying to sprint between defenders. Joe Riki would have none of that. Kvasha lobs it right to the catching glove of Kolzik. Florida in the middle of a shift change. Plenty of time for an open Richard Zednik. On the hand ahead. Konowalchuk looks for the seam. 2-on-2, worked over there by Simpson and crunched hard. They want Simpson to bring a physical presence. He's been throwing the body early tonight.
Yeah, physical presence and also leadership. He was the captain of the Calgary Flames. He's only 25 years old, Joe. Brings a lot of toughness. He had over 150 penalty minutes last year playing out west.
Oates wheeling down the wing. Oh, it's canceled by Niedermeyer. That was a sturdy check. Niedermeyer broke his stick, tries to soccer style it past the defensive Johansson, didn't do it. But the second effort for the Panthers will send Washington back into its own end. Just over 4 minutes to go in this first period. We're tied up at 1. National Car Rental Center is the venue this evening in Sunrise, Florida. Seats better than 19,000 for NHL hockey. They're just getting started in terms of getting excited tonight for the NHL season. Deadlocked at 1 with Ron Woodson looking on. Wilson and the Caps back in action when we return.
1 on. One of the ultimate challenges, no matter what the sport. And now, the best in the business goes one-on-one with some of the biggest names in sports. Classic Settlements presents One-on-One with Steve Buckhantz, only on HTS. No bluff, no evasive maneuvers, no company lines, because this is one-on-one. Classic Settlements presents One-on-One with Steve Buckhantz, premiering Monday, October 4th at 8:30, only on HTS.
Antwerp and Dodge Columbia, your conversion van headquarters. Family quality time starting at $18,995 at Antwerp and Dodge Columbia.
Do you know how to earn double credit for your school? No, I don't know. Well, you go to Giant and you look for this sign. Huh? They mean you get double credit when you buy those items. If you buy something, say, $1, you get $2 marked on your receipt for it. That helps you get computers and stuff for your school. And that's really helping your school. Buy double credit items! That's a very nice deal.
Our Bell Atlantic community calendar begs you to celebrate Oktoberfest with the Washington Capitals Saturday, October 9th, 2 to 7 p.m. F Street, transformed into a hockey theme park. Then be sure to be in your seat for the Caps season opener. Call Ticketmaster now for great seats. Washington Capitals hockey, always intense. 3:45 to go in an intensely played first period. And the season opener for both of these NHL squads. Pavel Bure, a power play goal for Florida. Jan Bulis at even strength for Washington. Panthers on the attack. Mellenby's backhand deflected away by Sergei Gonchar. Mellenby reloads. Svela. Bure shimmies across the top. Spot check through a screen. Sailed it wide of Kolzik. Svela sprints to keep in. Florida stays in control. Bure sidesteps Riki. Ricky able to bottle up Bure, one of Craig's keys tonight.
You've got to do that because Bure, having not played in a real game, Joe, he's going to be hurting.
Great look down low. Melody denied by a sprawling Ricky. Backed up there by Ole Kolzik. Caps reeling a bit, able to clear.
They're reeling because Otzi got hammered down to the ice, and they were playing 5-on-4. That allowed the Panthers to attack Capitals goaltender Ole Kolzik.
Florida will get a line change as the Caps have just completed one of their own. Jeff Halpern sends it out for Joe Sacco. Sacco on the send in. Burke slows. Threw it right to the rookie Halpern. He finds Chris Simon. Halpern in tight quarters. Worked over there by Hedekin. Brad Hedekin comes away with a biscuit. Wells floats it along, one-on-one. Back come the Panthers with Laws leading the charge. Paul Laws' wrister deflected by Kalle Johansson. Halpern took a rough run, did not get it clear. Ken Klee with a stick check. And it'll be Chris Simon to work back. Simon slithers it right to Sean Burke. Washington will change him up on the go. 2 minutes, 5 seconds to play in the first, still deadlocked at 1. Pitlick on the send-in. Brendan Witt will be the first to it. Ray Whitney right there in his sights. Witt lobs it back to center. Nikolitin rambling back. Andre Nikolitin had his pocket picked. Whitney taps, and Parrish moves. Parrish outside, inside on Brendan Witt. Mark Parrish ridden to the boards by Nikolitin. Parrish spins right out of the corner, right to the front. Down low, score! In tight, Ray Whitney.
Well, a good cycling job by the Florida Panthers. The Capitals beat on some one-on-one situations, and Ray Whitney, a small, diminutive forward, plays the wing, deposits his first goal. Last season, he had 26 goals to lead this Panther hockey team. And there he is, the high fives all around. Here's a look at the work down low. Decent coverage, but they get beat one-on-one right there. Parrish gets around Nikolitin, and then there's massive chaos in front of the net. The rebound goes right to Whitney, and he puts home the backhander. There it is. Nobody picks up Whitney. Empty net, backhander, pass Ole Kolzik.
There wasn't much defensive coverage there, Craig Laughlin, but the effort of Mark Parrish was special.
Well, he got to the inside of Nikolitin. Nikolitin, when you're checking, you keep everything to the outside. Parrish able to step around Nikolitin. That started the play, and that doomed the Capitals. Whitney scoring his first.
Washington looking to answer once again. Gutshar towards the net, just wide of the deflection of Steve Konowalchuk. Delayed penalty coming up here. Ole Kolzik sprints to the players' bench. Referee Paul Stewart is going to give Washington a power play right here.
It's going to be an interference call. The important shift is anytime you get scored against, you've got to go hard after that shift. That's exactly what the Capitals did. They came onto the ice after the goal and said, hey, we're going to get after it right away. They did, causing a penalty. The Capitals now go to the power play with just $1:17 left here in the first period. Check out the center of the screen. You'll see the interference call. Puck shot on the net. There it is, right in front of the goaltender. You see a stick between the legs right there. And because of that, the Capitals go to the power play. John Jacobin. Called him Jackalope. Remember that?
Yes, you did.
He's tough. He took fighting lessons 2 years ago by former Capitals Mike Marson.
Big man, 6'5", 235, hails from Sweden, played collegiately, as we mentioned earlier, at Merrimack in Hockey East.
He doesn't play like a Swede.
No.
Very physical.
I would
very
concur.
tough.
60 seconds to go in this first period. Washington playing 5-on-4. First power play chance on the night for the Caps, who a season ago were 17% effective. Spotcheck zips it along the boards and right past Sergei Gonchar, the full length. You look at the special teams effectiveness of these two squads. One winter ago, penalty killing was not strong for Florida in a season in which they too missed the playoffs. Panthers control. Dvorak, a shorthanded threat. He had 4 shorties last year. Leaves it for Bure. Bure spilled down to the deck. Back comes Washington counter-punching. 2-on-1 potential. Oates, drop pass. Johansson fires. Sticked out of there by Burke. 20 seconds to go in this first period. Power play for Washington. Oates will settle. Watched carefully by Pitlick. Bondra creeping out of the corner. The captain, Oates, sets it up for Metropolitan. Little give and go. Oates. Metropolitan towards the net. Kicked out of there by Burke. as the first period comes to its conclusion. The siren sounds, and the Panthers fans will celebrate a 2-1 lead after 20 minutes of play as the Caps file to the dressing room. Washington pumped 13 shots at Sean Burke. The Panthers responded with 12 of their own against Ole Kolzig, and it is Florida that retires to the dressing room ahead by 1.
Pretty good period when it comes to shots, Joe. Over 20 shots fired between the two clubs. Very entertaining. A lot of work down low. Looking for the Capitals to get their legs in the second period. They looked a little bit hanging back too much in the first. Look for them to open it up in the second.
The NHL season is underway on HDS. We've got first period intermission activities for you right after these words.